Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. This is the Commissioners' Finance meeting. We do this every week. Today is September 27th, 2023. The appointed hour, 1:30 p.m. has arrived. So we'll call the meeting to order. Begin with opportunity for public comment. Any wishing to comment? Nothing online? Okay. All right, that moves us to item 3. The minutes are in hand for the September 20th, 2023 meeting.
Move to approve the minutes of September 20th.
I'll second that motion, but I want to note that the attachment is not here with the draft minutes, so that needs to be attached.
Okay, so we still okay. We have a motion and a second. So, okay, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, that moves us into item 4, our topics of discussion for today's finance meeting. And we'll start off with the quarterly update for the library system. Director Carolyn Blatchley is here to present to us.
Make any notes. First of all, it came very gifts related to this, so I'll read this.
Oh,
It's not like a monetary gift. I got it for free. No. So do you have the presentation available? Up there, because I did not. So one time I didn't bring a printed copy with me, but this is just an update on our 5 projects for the conditional grant process. Oh, wonderful. Thank you. So using the same format I used in the previous 2, I just have the projects listed in the first page on the far left. And then sort of a bit of a breakdown of activities that I won't read word for word to you, but I'm super excited that we have launched the virtual reference program. July 5th was our first day. We have staff on the virtual reference desk Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 2 to 4, but it is staffed 24/7 through the platform that we use. And they have access to our local information. Having pretty good success with it. 22 librarians are trained to be on it from 4 libraries and the library system headquarters. And we've been averaging about 38 questions a month in those 6 hours per week that we do. It seems like our users are satisfied. The questions that are coming in tend to be local. A lot of account questions, genealogy questions, just, the homework help, that sort of thing. So we do get a very detailed report from the state agency that helps us with conducting this. And so we can see what the questions were, what the satisfaction was, where they're coming from. And they're primarily using our website and our portals to get there. We're just going to continue to do that through December. We are, the library system is giving a stipend to the member libraries. If they provide staff, we do give them a stipend for that. And I'm not sure if that will continue in 2024, but it looks like this will be a project that will continue to support into the next year, pending final evaluation of it. Website usability. I think at the last meeting, I talked to you about a bit of a change in this after meeting with consultants. That we were advised by, especially one consultant that we felt really good about, and not because he said this, but Ben Berner suggested that we revise this and that we were already doing all the right things. We could pay somebody to do it for us, but we're doing them already. But what we realized was we don't have a documented methodology for it. So the computer staff have documented a method for evaluating our website. They have what are called content types will be evaluated every month. And there's a systematic way that they'll work through every content type throughout the year. And then biannually, some specific pages that the library system maintains. So they're going to be running those through accessibility checker software, recording what was wrong, what needs to happen next, is there training or just a fix that needs to be done, and provide an executive summary to me to provide to our board. In addition, we plan to add some usability user initiated accessibility software to the website before the end of the year. Our auto renewal of library materials, starting then on page 2, we started that trial on August 15, and it also seems to be going very well. Now, this is a sort of low-hanging fruit for these are people who wouldn't get fines anyway, our staff and our volunteers who were in the first phase of the trial. So we are going to be rolling it out very soon to the whole public as a trial, not permanent, which will be a little confusing because October 5th, Johnson County Library System just announced that they will be turning theirs on as a permanent. They're just jumping in with both feet. But we're going to be measuring some effects on libraries. A primary concern to our libraries is fine revenue. There are differing opinions about that, and we know that this will reduce that. We're also looking at, are there ways the library might be able to subsidize some of that loss for our member libraries in order to do that. We're just combing through the loan rules, seeing what we need to change within the software to announce that. And then we have language for marketing materials. We're massaging the language on the evaluations, on the notices that go to patrons to tell them whether or not something renewed. We did put an evaluation link on the auto renewal notice, and we have gotten quite a few people who responded to that. It will also be on the one that rolls out to the public. I've only had really 2 complaints, and they were people who basically said, I know how to manage my own account. I don't need you to do this for me. Everyone else seems very pleased with it. Either, just this is nice, just simple statements, to extreme gratitude for making it easy for them to keep something that's not in high demand. They don't have to think hard about it. They can go on vacation and relax and not think about their materials, that sort of thing. So some really nice comments coming from that, and have helped us to think about how we want to roll this out to the public, what kinds of language we want to use with that, and also within our notices. Our meeting rooms, the library system continues to evaluate software that will go on our website to manage meeting room reservations. I believe our last demo is going to be next week, and then we'll start making decisions on software for that. And hardware, will be pairing up people from our information technology with individual libraries to make those final purchases and installations. We've talked about what their needs are, but we need to get the software and hardware in their hands. That's our next step. And with the nature backpacks, the youth services staff have conceptually developed 35 backpacks. They have their themes picked out. They have a staff assigned from all of the member libraries that are taking on, adopting a backpack, if you will, to determine specialized materials that'll go in those. The library system is purchasing all of the general materials that go into, or I should say collecting. Most of it's purchased things, but we've been building some partnerships as well for this project. Appalachian Audubon has agreed to work on one that's on birds with us. And getting to what I handed you, the Friends of Wildwood Park, it provided us with quite a few nice materials. I brought this to give to you because Commissioner Eichelberger had specifically eyed up one that I brought at presentation 1 that's not the one we got for these backpacks, but it's similar. So I think that one was just birds.
I don't remember that.
You can go back and watch the recording and see. So I wanted to get you one of these to be familiar with Pennsylvania species. All sorts of things that can be found in Wildwood, but also here in Cumberland County. Other things that they gave us were the Wildflower Guide to Wildwood Park. We've got about 50 copies of this book, and then they gave us plenty of copies of the Wildwood specific one is amphibians and reptiles, and then the Pennsylvania guides to salamanders and lizards and turtles. So those will be inserted into these, materials like these will be inserted into those backpacks along with magnifying glasses, tablets, pencils, activities. Bosler Library staff have helped us to develop a logo that we'll be able to put on the backpack and on the notebooks that are inside. Thought there was one more thing I wanted to tell you about that, but it's slipped my mind and I don't think it's something I wrote down. So anyway, we're excited to see those backpacks get into the hands of kids and families. So, last thing, not quite related to this, I did put a bookmark in your in with your pamphlet because just a reminder, we are wrapping up library card sign up month. So if you know somebody who doesn't have a library card, please hand this to them and ask them to visit us and sign up for a library card.
How long are those valid for now? They still have an
They're
expiration.
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And free renewal. So, do you have any questions that I could answer for you? Thanks.
Carolyn.
Thank you.
Thanks for those.
You're welcome.
Okay, if there's no other questions. Thank you very much for coming in. Appreciate the update. And that will bring us to the next discussion item. We have discussion, possible action regarding cross on executing the highway safety grant. And Sheriff Smith is here to discuss it with us.
Thank you. Do you mind if I just stand?
That's fine.
Okay, good. I don't have any nifty handouts for you. Apologize for that. But the highway safety grant, I believe you're familiar with it. We've had that grant for many years. The American Trauma Society will normally contract with the county, with our office to provide the service. That contract expires September 30th. So the new contract for fiscal starting the 24-26 fiscal years would start October the 1st. Due to no fault of the county, our office, or to the American Trauma Society, the full execution of that grant is going to be delayed. It will be delayed at minimum 4 weeks, hopefully max 8 weeks, about 4 to 8 weeks. It's going to be delayed, create a gap. I believe it's my understanding, Matt can correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that the delay is due to the e-grant system, transition to the e-grant system from the .2
That's correct.
So it's not
system.
it's not the state budget.
No, it's not the state budget. It's
We tra-
moving to that new system.
PennDOT transition from the DOT grants program to the e-grants program, and there's been some learning curve, I guess, it's my understanding.
So that is what's creating the delay. That creates the gap where we normally submit reimbursements and get invoices for the reimbursements. We get reimbursed by the state. That's not going to happen for this gap. ATS, the American Trauma Society, has the funds and is willing to front those costs. Once the grant is fully executed, then we would get the invoices to submit for reimbursement to the state. We would submit those reimbursements, and it's like 99.9% forever that they would reimburse us, but it's not a 100% guarantee that the state is going to reimburse those costs. Again, the county still wouldn't be out any funds because ATS is going to front the money. However, what PennDOT needs to move forward is a letter that would be signed by the Board of Commissioners stating that you would be willing to incur the cost. And it doesn't necessarily make sense to me, but maybe you could explain it a little bit better as to why if they're fronting, if ATS is fronting the cost, then why does the county,
Yes.
why does PennDOT need the letter?
In past years, if the grant full execution had been delayed, there would be no work allowed until it was fully executed. PennDOT added language in the grant proposal. I'm sure this is the first year for it. This is the first year I'm really aware of it. Where if the grant execution is delayed, the county has the option, or the grantee, I should say, has the option of requesting PennDOT to hey, we want to incur costs before the grant is fully executed, with the understanding that once it is fully executed, then it will be retroactive to October 1, and that the work will be reimbursed. PennDOT just wants a letter from the grantee saying, hey, we'd like to incur these costs before the grant is fully executed. And we understand that it's not 100% guarantee. I've been working with the Highway Safety Office at PennDOT for 10 years. I believe the Highway Safety Office wants this grant to happen. They don't want it to stop. They just can't give 100% guarantee. And my analogy is, you have a disease, go to your doctor. Your doctor's not going to give you 100% guarantee that you'll cure you. It's sort of the same thing. They cure you, but anyways. That's sort of how I understand it. So it's a delay because of the transition to the e-grant system. And to keep us working come Monday, we would need a letter from the commissioners requesting the permission to incur expenses prior to execution.
I had provided a sample of text to you. I hope that you had a chance to review that. You did? Okay. That was a sample of the letter that would be provided to PennDOT if you chose to, if you choose to approve that.
Just so I'm clear, so there is a chance that we would have to bear the cost of it.
No,
You would not
Not
be
the
bearing
county.
the cost because ATS has the funds to cover
Right.
that time period, and they're willing to pay the costs.
and in the contract, historically, in the contract between the county and the ATSPA, there is a clause in there that I'm sure will be in there for the coming year that should the county not get paid, they're not required to pay ATSPA. It's kind of like a standard clause in there.
We just haven't contracted with ATS.
Right.
It's
Okay.
been in prior contracts, it should be.
It's just a bureaucratic hoop.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
And we're told to jump. Okay.
Yeah, it seems very weird that this is created by an e-signature issue, right?
I'm not sure if it's it's the e-grant
Okay.
system, and it's the transition to
Yeah,
that
and
system.
then they're like, it's just the transition to a new system, but we're not gonna guarantee this 100%.
Yeah,
It's
right.
like,
And we're not the only county in this position right now. This is affecting counties across the Commonwealth.
It's like so much for
It's the
streamlining.
entire highway safety granting network across the state.
Okay.
It's my understanding. Oh, it's not just one county. So
yeah,
it's things like we used eGrants to build the proposal and submit it, and then eGrants has been used by other state agencies for a while, but PennDOT, each agency has to tailor it to fit their needs, and the way I would explain it is in tailoring it, they realized, oh, well, here's something, we've got to kick it back and resubmit it because we've got to correct a field or something. Issues like that, I think, is what's delaying it. So the substance of the grant, the Highway Safety Office is happy with. The substance of the work is just these internal glitches, and then it has to go through steps and processes. It's the hold up.
So they would, to be able to continue working come Monday, they would need, if you choose to approve it, PennDOT needs that letter from our Board of Commissioners by Monday. It's a very short turnaround, unfortunately.
Friday,
Friday, the
That-
29th. It's Friday's, I apologize. For them to continue working till Monday, PennDOT needs a letter by
So you really
Friday.
need us to.
It would be better, sir.
for the record, Sheriff, could you please let us know if we don't have the highway safety grant, what happens?
We would be unable to provide education, training in school districts and several, it's not just our county, it's multi-county contract with surrounding counties, especially in school districts. It's important to provide that training and education to drivers regarding reducing deaths due to accidents on highways, etc. I mean, there's bike helmet programs, there's seatbelt programs, there's
Child
child safety seat programs. There's numerous programs that's encompassed by the grant.
This is the grant the coroner used to.
Correct, years ago. I think the sheriff's
By
office.
the way, the coroner always had plenty of handouts for us. You know.
Oh.
We had
Wow.
plenty of trinkets and such. So
I'll have to find some. But you
Just
don't know
saying.
you don't know where those trinkets came from. That's the But no, he did handle it, and Stephanie's our office manager, Stephanie Taylor, she is administering the grant for our office, providing all of our compliance. She's here with us.
Any additional questions?
Mm-mm.
Are we ready for
Yeah.
action?
I do. As our solicitor to the price of this.
I would have to defer that to the commissioner's office, to your staff.
Angela has been working with this. I can tell you, I'm like 95% sure that she has cleared this with the solicitor. I think the biggest thing was looking at the agreement that we have and making sure it complied, which it sounds like it does. I'm happy to walk over and see if he's in, just to verify that, Vince.
Or we could pass a contingent on.
Yeah.
True.
I'd be okay.
True.
with it.
Okay, so that should shape our motion if there is.
So contingent upon solicitor approval, I will move to approve incurring costs prior to full execution of the fiscal year 2024-26 highway safety grant in the event the grant is not provided.
I'll second.
Okay, so moved and seconded. Any further questions? Not all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate the insights.
About your phone call. Yeah. I will, yeah, I will.
That concludes our topics of discussion under item 4. So we'll move on to item 5, which is additional business. I'm not hearing anything, so we'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Stand adjournment.